So good morning, happy Friday. Welcome to our bi-weekly Eastside Wrap meeting where we discuss the impact of homelessness on the east side of Santa Barbara. My name is Landon Rank. I'm the Associate Director at SB Act and joined by my colleagues Barbara Anderson, City Administrator's Office, and Liz Stotts from the City of Santa Barbara. So we are going to start with just some general announcements, and I just wanted to start with a quick thank you to everybody who came out for our in-person meeting a couple weeks ago. It was really nice to actually get to be in the same room with each other and dialogue about quite a few of the different issues we've talked about on these calls. So again, thanks to everybody for being there. I'd love to do this again sometime in the near future. It's definitely quite a bit to coordinate, so I appreciate you all having patience as we did that. But good to see you all. So our next meeting will be 2 weeks from today. We will not meet the day after Thanksgiving because we'll all be too busy storming the doors of Target. And so we won't have a meeting that day. Then I wanted to make sure it's on your radar that there will be a South County Homelessness Collaborative meeting on Zoom on Monday, December 9th. I don't have a flyer, I don't think, in my slides yet, but I'll be able to share out the Zoom link for that soon. So we encourage you to check that out because that's just an opportunity to stay informed about what's going on throughout the whole region with homelessness and ways that you can get involved. And then our December Eastside Wrap meeting will be on the 13th. We mentioned this just a few minutes ago, but just wanted to note that it is going to be warming center season starting just 2 weeks from today. So this is the time of year when it gets colder and more wet. And so there are various faith communities throughout the County of Santa Barbara that open up on nights when those conditions are met that are on the screen there. And so I do believe our county is always looking for more faith communities. One of their representatives was on one of our wrap calls earlier this week talking about how they, even if your faith community can only do it one night, it's still helpful to just be able to offer one night. And so if you're connected with a church or faith group, please feel free to reach out to the email addresses that are there in the chat window just to get more information. But it's just a really helpful way to support people experiencing homelessness during a more challenging time of the year, and a good way to help us motivate people towards accessing the services and housing that we want them to get connected with. I'm going to turn it over to Pat for this next little announcement.
Thanks, Landon. So we had 2 days of community cleanup and a facility refresh. So we had the Alpha Delta Epsilon Free Health group from UC Santa Barbara. They came and helped us on a Sunday. And then we had various students from high school in Santa Barbara who came on a Monday because they had a day off, and this was a couple of weeks ago, and helped with community service cleanup. Our next community service has not yet been decided, but as soon as I know, I will let Landon know. Thank you.
Thank you, JV. I think that's it for general announcements today. So we will, as we usually do, go to our community members just to hear concerns from the East Side region. So let's go ahead and open up for anybody who wants to share.
Hi, this is Susie from our board. Wanted to just let everyone know that I do have our safety manager, Ricardo, on the line as well. And we have seen some increase in activity on Cassique and the surrounding areas, Quarantina, Nopalitos, and so forth. I did send an email, Sergeant Beltran, this morning regarding a camper that's on the opposite side of our building in Cassique. I am aware of the individual. He frequents Cassique area, and I think there's some suspicious activity. It's worth taking a look into because
Susie,
it seems like it's bees to honey at this camper.
is it
around
is it an RV?
Yeah.
I recorded that same RV earlier this week, and I actually just sent it last night to Sergeant Beltran. So I think it's like right in front of the post office.
Yep.
Yep, same. I caught video of it, so hopefully something useful comes out of that.
We've recorded it as well.
Hey, look at
Multiple times.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is a backstory to the individual that's in that camper. I know he was a temp at one of the temp agencies, and so he definitely has some suspicious activity. I'll just leave it at that. And then we also have seen more trespassers at our Cacique facility. We did have some missing cell phones. We did pull some of our video and so forth. So we're trying to come up with solutions to make sure people don't come onto our property, but they're also, I guess, using our property as a bathroom. So I know Path has a public bathroom, but in any case, we're seeing more influx of people again, and so I don't know, Ricardo, if you want to share anything.
Hello, everybody. Like Susie said, my name is Ricardo Mojica. I'm the safety manager here with Marburg. I came on in May, and some of the concerns that she has mentioned are concerning for everybody here, especially the unwelcome visitations, the theft, the defecation on our property. We've also seen an increase in vandalism on our employees' vehicles. That is concerning. Obviously, the folks in the area are familiar with our employees, not only by uniform, but probably by face and vehicle. So we've made some strides as far as securing our location. I understand in the past they would enter and use one of our showers that was readily available, that was open. So we made it much more difficult for them to access that with the security key code on our doors. But there's still some areas of vulnerability just because of the access into our facility, which Susie mentioned. We are making some efforts in securing that for the sake of our employees. But it is concerning that phones are being taken. Again, the defecation on our property, the days are getting shorter. So for our employees to leave when it's still dark, that's an area of concern for us right now. So whatever help and support we can get from you all would be greatly appreciated.
Thank you, Ricardo and Susie. Appreciate all the information.
And Ricardo, can you share your email address with me? It doesn't have to be to the whole group, but I just want to make sure I have your contact information too. This is Barbara.
Yes, I'll send it.
Thank you.
And Ricardo, I'm going to put my contact information in the chat too. And Landon, maybe you can share our neighborhood resource flyers. So as you see folks who might be trying to come on your property or anything, you can reach out to us and we can send out outreach team members or PATH staff to go connect with them and help them connect somewhere else to services or supports.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll put my contact information in the chat.
And I do want to just overemphasize, Sergeant Beltran is here, but any trespassing on private property, the illegal activity you're seeing it's all law enforcement oriented. So I appreciate you looping him in, and I appreciate that we have video from 3 different sources for this one individual too. So thank you for that.
All right. Jose, did you have your hand up?
Yes, I do. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, I have a question for you, Landon. Did you receive the photos that I sent you? Did you receive those
Um,
on your phone?
I don't know that I did.
Okay,
Let me check and I'll message
okay.
you.
Because I also these are photos that I sent to Mrs. Adams when we had the meeting there at the Methodist Church. Somebody was sleeping on the property at the end of the gate there, I guess, the driveway, I guess where they have the trash bin there. And then another photo, the wall between Ramirez Flooring and Path. There was somebody's, I don't know if that was the same person's belongings, just a bunch of stuff there. And I requested for you to forward those photos to Miss Barbara Anderson, since I don't have her contact. So just let me know when you get a chance.
Yeah, I will. I am not seeing that email or text. So if you can resend that, that would be great, Jose.
Okay, I'll do that a little later for after the meeting. Okay.
And Jose, I'll put my
Send them.
email address and phone number in the chat too.
I can
You
send them to Barbara. I have them.
okay.
He gave them to me when we had our in-person meeting recently, so I can pass those along, Barbara, and I'll just reiterate something that I shared when I received those photos, that there are times when people are allowed to sleep on our property. If somebody doesn't have a bed, there isn't an available bed for us to get them to, and they are fearful of sleeping on the street, and that's the only place they have to sleep. We have allowed people to sleep on our property to stay safe overnight.
And then just circling back to, I think Natasha was responding to Marburg's concerns about, and just noting that there is an ability to have an authority letter filled out, which Marburg may already have, but I'm just putting that link in the chat window for anyone on this call that does assist the police in being able to enforce trespassing on private property. Thanks, Natasha. Anything else from the community?
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to Barbara and Andrew for getting that street fix that we have over here that was falling apart. And also to them putting up that camera, hoping we can catch the people who are leaving their personal trash at the trash cans on the bridge here. So thank you for that.
Jesse, it's because you reported into us. So Public Works and Code Enforcement, Environmental Services there. Yeah, it's because you've been the eyes and ears. So thank you for doing what you're doing as well.
Yeah, okay. You're welcome.
Anything else from the community? All right. So let's go ahead and go to our outreach providers just to hear what they've been up to in the East Side the last couple of weeks. Why don't we start with Path Team?
Hello, everyone. We just got a couple people trained through the county to be able to utilize the homeless management information system to be able to fully support our outreach efforts. So they're kind of now doing hands-on training, going out to not only be able to just have conversations with folks who are out in our neighborhood here, but to fully support them in getting into the homeless management information system to then be able to, fully connect them to services and help them navigate to housing. So we're super excited about that. Still in process of bringing on, our permanent full-time outreach support. We'll let you know as soon as we have that secured, but we're excited to have this additional support being trained right now to support in the community. We also, I think, where is JB here? Oh yeah, JB's here too. So we're in process of doing some cleanup efforts on site here. We recently had some groups come and volunteer to do some neighborhood cleanup as well. I'll let JB talk about that though.
Thanks, Liz. Landon, I spoke earlier, and Landon shared the photos that you're talking about. So yeah.
Sorry, I had technical difficulties this morning. So we'll be sharing as well when we have additional cleanup dates scheduled.
All right, thank you, Liz. Let's go to our CityNet team.
Good morning. Yeah, we've just been doing the usual outreach in the area. We have a few requests we're going to respond to later in the day. Around that area, we have noticed an increased presence of people that we've done outreach with in the Eastside area at the Faro Center, which is really cool. And last week we did one relocation, so we spent a lot of our time with that person sorting out the details of the train ticket home. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Most of the people that we're seeing recently are still kind of in that East Beach area. That's where we see the most people during our outreach. And I think that's about it from us.
Thanks, Olivia. Just because Olivia made the mention of the Faro Center, so we've heard from a couple different regions that are a good distance away from Archipelago Street location that they're able to see some of their clients here. We've heard this from some of the Goleta outreach teams. So I think the word is getting out that this is here and people are finding ways to transport over here. So I do want to encourage you all to keep helping us spread the word about the center because that is a very viable place for people to go during daytime hours and then get some services. So we do have information cards here about the Faro Center. If anyone's interested, just let me know. I'll put my email in the chat window if you'd like to get any of those. And then let's see, who else do we have on the call today? I'm not seeing Good Samaritan today. Can we go to Andrew with code enforcement?
Thanks, Landon. Yeah, for us, the east side has been a lot of kind of our usual routine around there. Cacique, still, always a bit of a challenge. We do have Dwight, my counterpart, going down there daily. But again, it's kind of an hour by hour thing there. So we may see it perfectly clean at one point in the day. And that can change pretty quickly for us. So we're doing our best to make sure that it's something we can drive by routinely, see it in the afternoon as well, and kind of keep a beat on it. As Natasha noted in the chat, we are seeing a lot of RVs moving into that area, kind of a little reshuffling that is drawing some activity kind of in and around that zone, particularly on Kimball Street. We're having a few problems with some individuals at that location. So again, just working to address those. As far as the rest of the east side goes, I think as I mentioned at the in-person RAP meeting, we do have Milpas being picked up for litter every Friday. So that took place this morning. Hopefully helped with after a busy Halloween night. And otherwise, it's some of our usual spots around Dwight Murphy Field where we're just working to kind of manage things, as well as East Beach. So, but for the most part, it's just been on smaller sort of case by case basis. We're not seeing anything particularly large get established. It's just new individuals, new faces. We'll kind of see them move in and out of the area. So doing our best to stay on top of it.
Hi, John from CityNet. I just wanted to bring up the area around on Coda, around Santa Barbara Street, in the parking lot there. There's several individuals that we were dealing with last week that just have a whole lot of stuff. That whole bus stop that is in front of the parking lot there on Coda is just, there's a man there that we've engaged with. And he's not interested in services. We've talked to him about the amount of stuff. The whole bus stop is essentially taken up. And then there's a couple other individuals that are actually on the corner of Santa Barbara Street and Coda with large shopping carts just full of stuff. And we've engaged with both of them Um, one seems to be interested in services, but has been difficult to pin down so far. So I just wanted to make you guys, Andrew, aware of that, all that stuff that's out there, on particularly by the bus stop there on Coda. Um,
Yeah, we're very, I think a lot of people on this call are very familiar with the that bus stop location and that individual there. It is a very challenging situation with him. Like you said, he's resistant to services. We clean him up regularly. He's very quick to acquire new belongings. Actually, that whole zone for us, just Santa Barbara Street, Anacapa, Garden Haley, that whole little zone. I think you guys actually probably responded because I did put in a task for you guys just kind of about that whole area in general. So it's definitely on our radar. It's kind of a daily routine that we're working through there and doing our best to manage those that personal property that's kind of lingering about. Um, it's tricky. These, a lot of these individuals are very quick to reacquire things. So sometimes we will have what we deem a successful cleanup. And it's only a matter of one evening out there for them to have loaded up two shopping carts and have them in tow. So um, definitely aware of that area and continuing to try to stay on top of it.
Well, and I will say, just naturally, we're trying to communicate with Jane.
Second. And then just to reiterate some of what Andrew was saying too, we talk about this individual pretty much each time we have these Eastside calls. Like after the community members get off, he's one of the individuals that we're coordinating services and figuring out how to respond to. So definitely, that isn't to say we should stop talking about him, but just to say this is definitely on our radar. So thank you for bringing it up.
Yeah, just to add
Let's go.
there is a number of people in the area that are particularly challenging that CityNet and Ted from Be Well are being really responsive and trying to get out there and try to engage with these people. And sometimes they do make small progress in that they were able to have a conversation with that person that day, which is, you know, a, a small victory, but it is a big step towards building that rapport and trust to get people to accept services. But yeah, there are a number of folks like that all over town, of course. But we are aware of the one on that particular intersection. There's a few further down the street. There's one at on Cacique that we've been having all hands on deck to try to help. But yeah, they do present significant challenges for our outreach workers, and we're grateful for them for all the work they do.
All right, and then let's go to Sergeant Beltran. My apologies, my camera's off. I've got city facilities team here helping to move some items out of our Faro Center.
Yeah, thanks. Just kind of the same areas that Andrew talked about. Our team always kind of is piggybacking on the same areas, more so on the enforcement side. I really don't have a whole lot to share. To be honest, our team was, I was out of town on a work-related trip from Sunday, and today I'm not even at work, but I'm just logging on for the meeting. But I haven't been at work all week, so I really don't have a whole lot to update. I don't really know what's been happening. I was out of cell service for this training for a big portion of it. So if anyone has emailed me and I didn't get back to you, I apologize. It's going to take me a while to catch up on some stuff, but I did briefly look at my email, and a lot of it for these kinds of updates, I'd rely on my team to kind of fill me in on things, and there hasn't really been a whole lot other than the RVs and the area around Cacique and Quarantina. That area obviously has been picking up, but my team's aware of that, and they'll continue focusing on that.
Thank you. We appreciate you logging on your day off. Sure. Liz, did you have a question?
No, I just wanted to add, we've been talking a lot about Cacique, but I was in the area on Wednesday, and I'm not sure if it was because the rescue mission starts letting people in at a certain time, but around 2:30, I did notice a good amount of people sitting on the fence across the street from the rescue mission. I think their check-in is later in the day for the men. So I'm not 100% sure it was that, but there was a lot of people just with their belongings outside of the rescue mission. So as people are doing their outreach rounds, if they can check out that area periodically. It's not usual for me to see people. I usually see one or two. I saw like 5 or 6, so it was a higher number than usual.
Liz, the rescue mission checks women in at 3, and the men start at 5.
Yeah, this was all men.
Yeah.
I didn't see any women, so that's why I was thinking like maybe it was near check-in time, but I don't know if people normally start hanging out as early as 2:30. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. Anything else from the city of Santa Barbara that you wanted to share?
Landon, this is tangentially related, but I wanted to at least share that the Housing Crisis Ad Hoc Committee, which is 3 members of our city council, will be doing their report out on key findings and recommendations to full council on Tuesday, November 12th. Obviously, housing directly relates to solutions to address homelessness. So I just wanted to bring everyone's attention to that. And it's a pretty big agenda on that day. But just to keep an eye out, I think the agenda will be uploaded and approved next Thursday.
Thank you, Barbara. Appreciate you bringing that up because that's the issue that affects not only homelessness, but really all of us. So love for anybody to show up who's able to. All right. So I think that's it, unless there's any other general announcements or anything to share while we're all together. Is there anything else? Otherwise, we will close the meeting for community members.
Yeah, I completely forgot to mention that next Thursday, we're having a mixer over at Brass Bear in the Funk Zone. So it's just an opportunity to kind of learn more about PATH and our programs, as well as meet some of our new leadership team members. Any food or beverages purchased from Brass Bear that evening, also 10% of the proceeds come to support PATH. So we'd love for folks to come and join us 5 to 7 over at Brass Bear in the Funk Zone. And I can, Landon, if you can share the flyer for that out to the team as well, that would be great. And our executive director, Jennifer Hart-Dietz, will be there as well to kick off our program. So see some of you there.
Thanks, Liz.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you,
Thank
community
you.
members.
Thank you.
Have a good extra hour of sleep this weekend.
Thank you. Have a good weekend, everybody.